Okay, so coordinating wireless. So in this little rack, we've got Sennheiser wireless. These are the EW G4s, and we've got the G4 in-ear transmitters. First thing you want to do before you scan is you want to make sure that anything that transmits RF is off. So that would be these in-ear transmitters, and that would be microphones. So once those are off, I like to start with the in-ear packs. So we're going to do what's called an easy setup scan. Go into here. When you open up this menu, you're going to see a couple different things. Well, that's a balance. We're using these as mono packs, just so you know. Let's get some focus here. So you're going to see squelch. Now on these packs, it shows up as a dB, and on here, it shows up as low, medium, or high. Essentially what squelch is think of it like a gate for when you're scanning RF. And essentially, anything that's below that threshold, it'll ignore. Typically, you want to start your squelch as low as possible, but when you are in more populated areas, or definitely downtown anywhere, you want to probably start high, or else you just may not be able to get any decent frequencies. So, just a little explanation on squelch. These Sennheiser units have something called Easy Setup. This is a good place to start. You can go down and you can hit Scan New List. So, while that's going, I want to explain something here. So, these units have groups and presets, or they're presets. They have groups. There's channels and groups. So this one, for example, this is group 15, channel 3. When you're coordinating multiple different wireless units, you typically want to stay within the same group for these. The reason why that is because the frequencies themselves are spread or spaced accordingly. If you try to just set random frequencies, you might have an issue with something called intermodulation, and that'll essentially just be a bit of interference between frequencies. So these are spaced accordingly to help to not let that happen. So it looks like this scan is done, almost done. Let's see if I can get this to focus. So it says bank 3. There's 13 frequencies free. So I'm going to choose 3.1. And you can do a little test. It's a little bit harder with these in-ears. You typically want to test to see if you see any noise on that frequency. So it's not actually getting any sort of weird interference. If there was something close to that frequency, it would be jumping all over the place, and something you don't want. So now that this is on 3.1, we can see this will make a green light. Now that's on. And then I can take this other pack. I can sync it up. So I'll press this. This little light is a little infrared window right here on the pack, and you just line them up. And we're good. Now that we have this is sending RF. We want to keep this on because we want this receiver to be listening to frequencies other than that frequency, because we want to be able to use that frequency later. So I'm going to go into here, Scan New List. Now, what I like to do now, sometimes these other receivers, especially if this gear is not yours, some people will scan on these other receivers. What I want to do is go to Easy Setup and reset them. The reason why I do that is because if there is a scan that's already in the receiver, when you go to plug in on this frequency preset area, it'll be only a limited number of frequencies. It'll only show the frequencies that was previously scanned. So you want to clear those so that you can use this scan to essentially assign the frequencies manually across the receivers. Now that the scan is done, it likes group 15, I guess. So So I'm on 15.1. I can see it is actually perfect frequency, no noise. I can cycle through here. And I'm in Austin today, but a bit outside of the city, so RF is a lot easier over here. So I'm gonna do 15.1 over there. And I'm gonna do these one at a time because I don't trust Sennheiser sometimes. I'm gonna turn this on. Now we wanna sync this frequency. And we're synced. Now, I'm gonna go over to here, frequency preset. I'm gonna go to 2 because that was the next one it gave me. And it looks pretty clear, so I'm gonna use that. I'll turn mic 2 on. Now that we have this mic on, we're gonna sync it up. And we're good. Now, let's go to this one down here. We're gonna go 15.3. It looks pretty clean. I'll turn on this microphone. And I'm gonna sync that one out. And that's how you coordinate your wireless. One last little note. Sometimes, especially when you are downtown, the frequency presets will sometimes give you frequencies that aren't actually very clean. And so sometimes you just have to do it manually. And to do that, you go into advanced. There we go. Go to tune. I would start as low as possible. And again, I'm in the middle of almost nowhere. So this should be pretty easy. You can even see some noise right there. So you want to ignore frequencies like that. And keep going up until you find something decent. And then you can go into the smaller numbers and fine tune it. But this is all super clean. All these frequencies will be working. But if you're in a trouble area, you might have to do some digging to find a good one. But I guarantee you can find one.